It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news. This is the Southwest Outdoors Report.
Hi everybody, welcome to the show. We're coming to you from the state of Oklahoma on this week's episode. And as you'll recall, the big high pressure dome, the big drought, the terrible heat wave that engulfed the entire Lone Star state of Texas last year in 2011 moved north this year and has absolutely dominated the entire state of Oklahoma. Record-breaking high temperatures all across the state, including an all-time record high 113 degrees for Oklahoma City. So what do you do when the weather is that hot? You go night fishing, and that's what we're going to do on this week's episode. I'd like to welcome you for my very first time to Thunderbird Lake. It's located just outside Norman, Oklahoma, a little bit east of Interstate 35. This lake has several different species of game fish: white bass, crappie, largemouth bass, catfish, and even saugeye. So I have no idea what we'll catch. We're waiting on the sun to go down. As soon as it gets dark, we'll start fishing, see what happens out here in the dark. It'll be cool. We won't have to worry about the triple-digit high temperatures on this week's episode. While I'm doing that, we're taking you around the rest of the region to Louisiana with Cajun Phil and Kevin, Texas Gulf Coast with Bill Olson, Texas Freshwater with Brian Hughes, and the rest of the state of Oklahoma with Gary Dallahan. On this week's Lowrance Hot Lake of the Week, I'm going to show you about some incredible efforts to improve the fishing at Lake Buchanan, which has been terribly low for a long time. We'll have a big largemouth bass from Grand Lake on this week's Costa Catch of the Week, and someone wins free sunglasses, and much more in the next half hour. So stay with us. We're going to do some scouting, and right now we take you back to the FSN studios where Julie has your weekend planner.
Well, I've got good news and bad news for your weekend fishing. The good news, peak game fish activity will take place in the cooler part of the day. The bad news, Lunar tables are predicting poor conditions for both days this weekend. The best times will begin on Saturday at 6 a.m. and on Sunday at 6:50. Expect the sun to rise at 6:58 and set at 8 o'clock. And nights will feature a waxing moon 63% visible. Stay with us. We still have your freshwater and coastal fishing updates from all around the area. Plus, I'll be back with Kevin Van Dam on the Waterburger Ask the Pro.
Well, the sun's almost down, and one of the things I love to do when I'm scouting before a night fishing adventure is that I'll use my electronics to go and locate some good spots where I think I can catch fish once it gets dark. Once it gets dark, I'm just going to rely on my Q-beam spotlight, but one of the things I like to do is use my Lowrance HDS system to lay down a trail. Now what that does, it allows me to drive around the lake, stay clear of all the stumps, logs, any objects that I might run over, shallow sandbars, rock piles, that kind of thing that I might hit once it gets dark. So as you can see, I'm laying down a trail behind me. Now once it gets dark, I can run down the lake on plane, and as long as I keep my cursor, I keep my boat on that trail, then I know I'm safe. So one little tip, if you're gonna be safe fishing at night, use your electronics, lay down a trail, stay on it. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll launch you right into your fishing reports. It's going to be dark, and we'll see what's going to happen out here at Lake Thunderbird. Stay with us. Coming back for much more now.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Mercury, the official outboard of the Southwest Outdoors Report for 10 years running. By Excite, start positive, stay positive. By Lou's Reels and Rods, feel the difference. And by Onyx Personal Flotation Devices and Rainwear, keeping you safe on the water.
There's something, there's a bite. I got something. All right, first bite of the night. Hey, welcome back everybody. Your SOR doing some night fishing at Lake Thunderbird. Oh, it's a little largemouth bass. Not very big at all, but at this point, I'm not gonna be a beggar at all. Oh, a little fatty too. How about that? All right. Well, this lake, as I mentioned, got several species of fish in it. That one hit a little slab slayer. Little Bobby Garland bait on a little jig head right there. Not a big bass at all, but I'll tell you, we're gonna show you whatever we catch because I've never been on this lake. And I'll tell you what I'm finding. There are not many lights here, not many boat docks, a couple of marinas, but very little in the way of light being projected into the water. So what we're having to do is just fish points, fishing little rock and little sandy points. And one cool thing is that you don't have to have a lot of cover at night. They'll push in shallow, push in on some of these points, and you can catch them just casting up there with a little plastic bait, top water, a little chugger, a little spinner bait, something like that. A lot of baits will work at night. Fish become a lot more active, and that's a good start right there. All right, let's move you along right now and check in the rest of Oklahoma, see what's going on right here in the summertime. Here's Gary Dollar.
Beautiful Grand Lake of the Cherokees in northeastern Oklahoma is one of the state's largest lakes at over 46,000 acres. A great place to visit, a lot of things to do, a lot of fun to be in the water there. Ivan Martin is one of the best known anglers on the lake. He's been living here and guiding here for a long time. Ivan stays up with what the fish are doing, and he'll be the first to tell you the lake has a lot to offer in the way of everything from blue casts to largemouth bass. I ran into Ivan fishing with Jim Eckhart from Bartlesville and Darren Crowder from Collinsville, and here's what they had to say about their morning on the water.
Started this morning on a really cool day compared to what we've been having. It's overcast. I had some rain go south of us this morning. So went out and thought maybe we'd find some topwater fish. That didn't work, so we started flipping the shallow docks, and that seemed to have paid off pretty good. We've had several fish and a few keepers, mainly fish like the flipping jigs, shaky heads, some crankbait fish, and kind of just a little bit of everything's been working.
Well, I'm really excited about the fishing on Grand, for coming up. We've had really hot weather. It's cooling off fast. I think we're going to have an early fall. This week we've fished for crappie, white bass, and black bass and done real well, which is a little bit unusual for the middle of August. I'm especially excited about the crappie. We don't normally catch crappie real good until the end of September, and it looks like it's going to be great this year.
As a quick reminder, Grand is the site of the 2013 Bassmaster Classic. It's held in February. Weigh-ins are downtown Tulsa at the BOK Center. You'll want to put that on your calendar. It's a big deal. It's the Super Bowl of bass fishing. One thing about fishing on Grand, you can't catch them if you don't go.
Lake Buchanan down in central Texas is 23 feet low right now and has been very low for a very long time. However, through the efforts of some local concerned anglers and citizens, the Central Texas area, some tremendous improvements have been made by the Lake Buchanan Conservation Corporation. I'm going to tell you about some of those on this week's Lowrance Hot Lake of the Week. So let's go to the Lowrance HDS-10 right now and show you Lake Buchanan. As you can see, the lake is located between Burnett and Llano in south central Texas. This year, the Lake Buchanan Conservation Corporation has raised funds to stock 76,000 hybrid striper fingerlings in the lake. Texas Parks and Wildlife Department also stocks striped bass annually. Then, the LBCC has cut and sunk hundreds of cedar trees, made them into brush piles. They're located from the dam all the way up the west side of the lake to the mouth of Silver Creek here. Also, the organization has extended a low water boat ramp at Shaw Island in this area for low water access when the lake is this low. And it's a perfect example of how people can make a difference. And I will tell you that you can see all of those brush pile locations, get the GPS coordinates, punch them into your own unit and go fish them if you would like. You can check those out at lakebuchanancc.org. And that's this week's Lowrance Hot Lake of the Week. Stay with us, coming back to Lake Thunderbird in Oklahoma, and got a lot more fishing reports coming up next. There's one on my little ultralight rig. That's going to be a little largemouth bass. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Your Southwest Outdoors report is up at Lake Thunderbird, and I got to tell you something that's happening here. This may very well be the last fish we catch, and a sad little specimen it is, but it is a fish. It is a largemouth bass. and there's just not much to him. We're gonna let him go back. This is reality TV at its realest, because a couple of things have happened. Number one, the fishing's real difficult out here. Seeing a lot of fish busting shad around out here, a lot of activity. Cannot find anything that these fish want to feed on. Second thing, been watching my radar back on my Lowrance HDS Sirius satellite weather module, and we've got big thunderstorms building up, and they're just moving across I-35 just the other side of Norman, moving right at us. So we're about to have to bail out of here real quick. So didn't get to fish very long, caught a couple of small bass. Before it got dark, we caught quite a few white bass, got on a hump and caught some white bass, but didn't see any need to show those to you because we fully expected to fish all night long, be able to show you all the fish we wanted to, but that just did not work out. So we're gonna do a few things, wrap it up here, but if you'll stay with us, we're gonna get you over here to our Louisiana Fishing Report, Cajun Phil and Kevin, and I'm drifting into a dock back here behind me, but anyway, we'll get you over to Louisiana, get your fishing report from there. Be back in a couple of minutes with a few other things to tidy up, a few loose ends, with the rest of your fishing reports, and we've got to get off Lake Thunderbird. Stay with us, and here's Cajun Phil and Kevin.
Hi friends, Cajun Phil here with your Fox, Louisiana Fishing Report. I tell you what, fishing's good all across the state right now. It's hard to even talk about any place because it's all good. Let's talk about the rivers. Remember, every week in the afternoon, late in the afternoon from like 4 o'clock till dark, there's tournaments on both the Calcasieu River and on the Sabine River. I checked in with these guys. They're all catching fish. Said the water is beautiful. Now keep in mind, they're fishing the cooler times of the evening, so therefore they're catching a lot of them on buzz baits and on topwater baits. But the best bait of all happens to be a little creature plastic, pitching it next to the bank, working it back, a little lightweight. They're catching lots of bass right now on both the Calcasieu River and the Sabine River. Keep that in mind. Now, as far as redfish and speckled trout go, wow, I don't even know where to start. And no matter where you go, whether it's Lafitte, Hopedale, Delacroix, Venice, you name it, they're catching speckled trout and redfish. But let's talk about right here close to home, okay? Let's talk about Calcasieu Lake. Captain Kevin's had an awesome week this week. They're catching giant speckled trout right now. The only bad thing is if you want the big ones, you either got to go topwater, wade fishing, catch them that way, or use live mullet on the bottom. Live mullet, Kevin says you throw it out there, bam, they've got a big old giant speckled trout, anywhere from 4 to say 8 pounds, and then miss some a lot bigger than that. Till next time, Cajun Phil or Kevin, then happy fishing and may God bless, and we're going to see you folks next week.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Nitro Performance Bass Boats. Fish your best in a Nitro. By Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. Quality soft plastic baits made in Oklahoma with American pride. By Whataburger, proud to serve it hot and fresh 24 hours a day. By Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, low price, every day. And by Motor Guide Trolling Motors, engineering for anglers.
Hey, welcome back everybody. Your Southwest Outdoors Report on a nighttime fishing adventure at Lake Thunderbird, south of Oklahoma City, east of Norman, Oklahoma. And we have big thunderstorms building in. We've got to get off the lake quickly, but before I do, I want to mention our Facebook sweepstakes going on right now, where one of our lucky viewers is going fishing with our very own Texas saltwater insider reporter, Captain Bill Olson, down on the Texas Gulf Coast. Bill knows the Gulf Coast like the back of his hand, and somebody is going fishing for speckled trout and redfish at one of Bill's favorite hot spots. All you have to do right now to register is go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Southwest Outdoors Report. Once you're there, the first thing you need to do is click the like button at the top right-hand side of the screen if you have not previously done that. Once you've completed that, you just go in, click on the Sweepstakes tab, fill out the form with your information, and you could be that lucky viewer who brings a guest along and goes fishing for speckled trout and redfish with Captain Bill Olson, our Texas saltwater insider reporter. Good luck, and right now we get you to Brian Hughes for your Texas freshwater fishing report for this week, followed by the man himself, Bill Olson, on the coast.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Executive Outfitters. Dove season literally just around the corner. Be sure and get your new licenses and give them a call. Ask about the viewer special for your Southwest Outdoors Report viewers. Now, we're gonna go to Deep East Texas and Lake Caddo. Caddo, unlike all of our other lakes, is a very shallow water lake. It doesn't have the deep points, road beds, and offshore humps that you find on other lakes where the fish will gang up and suspend during the hot summer. Caddo's feature is cypress trees, a bazillion of them. The bass will get up under those after the sun gets up in the sky, and they'll hide in the roots of those trees. Look for cypress trees that line channels or have grass or some other feature adding to the attractiveness for the bass. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Executive Outfitters. Now let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, this week's report is brought to you by Port Aransas on Mustang Island, the fishing capital of Texas, where anglers enjoy pristine bays, estuaries, 18 miles of surf, and the deep blue waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Plus the local restaurants will even cook your catch come sundown. Come fish and play Texas Island style. For more information, visit the website on the screen. Well, this week, Texas got a glimpse of what weather patterns will become in the weeks and months ahead when an early front dropped heavy rains and created fickle wind directions. While the temperature is still hot, wind will once again become key to catching fish. Until things really start to cool off, continue to find fish in or near deep water. Around Sabine, that will be the short rigs, jetties, and south into the lake and along the ship channel. Ditto that for Galveston Bay, while adding in Trinity Bay. Matagordas Bay will see fish around reefs and deep grass beds as well as the big jetties. From San Antonio Bay southward through the upper Laguna Madre, deeper ends of reefs, channels, and grass is where fish will be found. Live piggy perch has been best to entice trout buried in the grass or deep to bite. Along the intercoastal, best depths have been 5 to 7 feet. You're going to have to cull through the smaller fish to find the keeper trout. Anglers out of Port Isabel continue to catch trout off long bar. Sheepshead, small drum, and mangrove snapper are added at the Causeway and South Bay. Along the entire coast, fish the surf whenever conditions allow. Offshore, shrimp boats are working close and holding king, ling, and dorado. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday have a single tide schedule of 1 high and 1 low tide each day. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Tracker Boats, Fish the Finest, by Lowrance, and the all-new HDS Gen 2 with Structure Map Overview, by Stren Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability, by Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there, and by Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, low price, every day.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time now for our Whataburger Ask the Pro. Our question this week comes to us from Mike in Garland, Texas, who wonders, when using fluorocarbon line, what is the best knot to tie? For the answer, we went to the Bassmaster Classic to ask 7-time Angler of the Year, Kevin Van Dam.
You know, when I'm using fluorocarbon, I just tie a regular Palomar knot. The critical thing is to make sure that when you go to cinch it down, that you cinch the main line and the tag at the same time, and you wet it down. I just put it in my mouth, wet it, and cinch it down at the same time. That'll give you 100% knot strength right there.
Thank you, Kevin. If you have a question, go to our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com, follow the Ask the Pro link, and let us know what you'd like to ask one of our pros. Now here's Barry with the Costa Catch of the Week.
Well, it's finally starting to rain so quickly. It's time right now for our Costa Catch of the Week winner for this week. He is Greg Heald of Grove, Oklahoma, shown here with a 7-pound largemouth bass he caught at one of the hotter lakes this year in Oklahoma, Grand Lake, up in the northeastern corner of the state. Now, Greg wins a free pair of his choice of any Costa sunglasses, and if you would like to enter for a chance to win your very own pair, all you have to do is go to our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com. On the right-hand side of the page is the Costa Catch of the Week area, and you could be our next winner. And you can see all of the Costa frame and lens styles at their website at costadelmar.com, including this month's Frame Style of the Month Galveston, the frames that I've been wearing during the entire month of August and on this week's show before it got dark. Next up, it's time for the Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff feature, the right gear you'll need if you want to be safe when you go night fishing. And it begins with my Onyx Auto or Manual Inflate Personal Flotation Device, or PFD. You can see these at all the Academy stores around our region. It's lightweight, comfortable, you can wear it anytime your big motor is in operation, or I'd recommend you wear it the entire time you're fishing at night. Never fish alone, always have a partner with you. Secondly, you'll need a good solid flashlight with well-charged batteries, fresh batteries in your flashlight to last all night long. And one of the handiest tools out here is a big Q-beam spotlight. This is a Max Million. I think it's 2 million candle power, and it will reach way out there when you're driving across the lake. You can put it in front of the boat, see where you're going, and make sure there are no obstructions as you're driving out there in the dark. Sorry we had to cut this week's episode short, but we've got this big thunderstorm bearing down on us, so we're going to try to pack everything up and get to the hotel before it hits. But thanks for joining us. Lake Thunderbird, a 6,000-acre great fishing lake located just east of Norman, Oklahoma. Got several species. Sorry we couldn't show all those to you today, but we'll come back, I promise. We'll do this again. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Until then, I'm Barry Stokes saying be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.